comedian Kunal Kamra continues to face the heat for the jokes that he cracked on Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. He's been summoned by the Mumbai police for questioning. He's requested for more time to join the probe. But he's also released a statement saying that he's not going to apologize for calling Shinde a traitor. But the Mahayuti seems to be closing ranks around the Deputy Chief Minister, saying that there have to be some sort of limits to the freedom of expression. But here's the catch. While we all agree that there has to be freedom of speech and that comics should not be arrested because they make fun of a politician, today in Chennai, a popular YouTuber named Savukku, he had his home vandalized, allegedly by Congress and DMK workers. That's the allegation that he and his mother have made. His mother was at home when this happened. He says the police have refused to register an FIR despite his aged mother going to the police station to file a complaint. The question is, isn't there an inherent double standard here? Why does freedom of expression extend only to comics who you like and not to critics who you dislike? Now, just hours before he released his new video, Kunal Kamra, in a statement put out on X, expressed his unwillingness to retract his words. He said that he's not going to apologize. He has nothing to apologize for in calling Mr. Shinde a traitor. He also said that attacking the venue, the place where this show was shot, the Habitat Center in Mumbai in Khar, for the words that a comedian used is senseless. He further went on to say that he was willing to cooperate with the police and with the courts. He said he doesn't fear the mob and that he would not be hiding under his bed. CNN News 18 has also accessed the line of questioning that the Mumbai police intends for comedian Kunal Kamra. According to the Mumbai police, Kamra would be asked on who is the person who's managing his social media account. He would be also quizzed on why this video was uploaded on Sunday, even though the live performance itself happened many days ago. The police are also likely to question him on the content and the authenticity of the video. They also want answers on his track record, particularly when it comes to remarks against politicians and those in high authority. Police are also likely to question him on his track record of remarks against Hindu religious deities and Hindu followers. So the FIR against Kamra, these are the sections that have been included in that. BNS sections 353(1)(b) and 356(2). The Home Ministry there has confirmed that location tracking, and they are vowing strict action against Kunal Kamra. Remember, the BMC has demolished some parts of what they claim were illegal construction at the Habitat Studio. The Habitat Studio has put out a statement it's shutting down. The inspection of the Unicontinental Hotel, where he was staying over a complaint that has been filed there, has also happened. Some demolition has happened there as well. So clearly, the BMC, the Mumbai police, all swinging into action just a day after, or a couple of days after, Kunal Kamra put out that video on Sunday night where he criticized the Deputy Chief Minister. Let's listen into some political reactions and then we'll go across to our face-off tonight.
आपके व्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता किसी दूसरे पर व्यक्तिगत प्रहार करने के लिए नहीं हो सकती है। दुर्भाग्य है कि कुछ लोगों ने देश का चीरहरण करना, विभाजन की खाई को और चौड़ी करने के लिए इस अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता को अपना जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार मान लिया है।
जो मेरे साथ हादसा किया गया था इलीगली, उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे थे, तो आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं मैं उस हादसे को इस हादसे से बिल्कुल नहीं जोड़ूंगी, क्योंकि वो एक इलीगल था जो काम किया था। आप जो है कॉमेडी के नाम पर उनकी इज्जत उछाल रहे हैं, उनकी अपकीर्ति कर रहे हैं, उनके काम को डिसरिगार्ड कर रहे हैं। शिंदे जी जो है वो कभी किसी जमाने में रिक्शा चलाया करते थे, आज वो अपने दम पर इतना आगे आए हैं। और ये कौन उनके खुद की क्या क्रेडेंशियल्स है, कौन है ये लोग जो कुछ जिंदगी में कर नहीं पाए।
All right, I want to go across to the political face-off tonight. China NC spokesperson of the Shinde Sena and CS Jai spokesperson of the UBT Sena. China NC, it can't be the case that somebody cracks a joke about a politician and suddenly there's an FIR, goons ransack the place where he performs that skit. I mean, what's in it for the venue? I mean, it's not like the people who own the venue are responsible for the content that this man puts out, as reprehensible as that content may be.
I agree with you, Zaka, in the opening statement, but let's look at the reference to context. You have a comedy can comedy be chosen in a vulgar display of words for a mass leader who happens to be the leader of our political party and who has risen from the ranks? I think it's a matter of pride today when I say that Eknath Shinde ji, as an auto rickshaw driver, has gone on to become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, has gone on to become the Deputy Chief Minister, and is somebody who has worked on ground. Now, if you use words like Gaddar, which actually means traitor, and who is a traitor? I mean, is a traitor the person who has left the ideology of Adanya Balasaheb Thackeray and who is sitting in the lap of Sonia Gandhi? Or is this somebody who is pretending to be a comedian but is actually a political activist under the garb of being a puppet, or rather rent a comedian in this particular case? So now for every single action, you will have a reaction. I am not for 1 minute saying that the reaction was right. It was an emotive issue which should have been dealt with, obviously in a legal way, or on television channels like some of us do. But
Okay.
the point is that the government did take action. 12 people were arrested. And look at the track record, Zaka, of our government when Eknath Shinde was the then Chief Minister of Maharashtra. For 2.5 years, there was not one case of arrest or one warrant issued against anybody who spoke or expressed their opinions contrarian to the Ubata Sena, which you know what they did with ABP as a news channel, or Arnab Goswami, or many others. And I'm not citing this as a competition. Now come to Mr. Kamra, and this is my limited point. Somebody who has the audacity to call the Supreme Court a supreme joke, condescendingly about Justice Chandrachud, Venugopalji, Banyas. The list is endless. Arnab Goswami, your own peer. The list is endless. And this is not the first time. He is a repeat offender. And I think the time has come for him also to understand that when you speak like this, where you have no emotion, and when you make humor humiliation,
Okay.
there is a difference. Humor is the essence of life. Yes, conceded. Wit is something we all look up to. We've had stalwarts like R.K. Lakshman, Balasaheb Thackeray himself, Mario Miranda, many others, but they never hurt people and humiliate people in this condescending tone and tonality.
So let me ask Mr. Jha, the point that China referred to, it's not like when you were in power, Mr. Jha, you had a clean record. In May 2022, Marathi actor Ketki Chitale was held for 40 days because she put out a Facebook post criticizing Sharad Pawar. In May 2022, a pharmacy student was held for an offensive post again on Mr. Pawar. In September 2020, Shiv Sena workers thrashed a former naval officer, Mr. Madan Sharma, for sharing a cartoon on Uddhav Thackeray when he was chief minister. In September 2020, and we all know famously this, Kangana Ranaut's office in Mumbai was partially demolished after she made comments about Aditya Thackeray. I mean, the point is, it's not like you are all clear and pure when it came to criticism when you were in power.
See, when we were in power, we were the Shiv Sena all together. And at this moment, if they want to rake the past combines Mr. Eknath Shinde also. And at that moment, when the things happened, the situation demanded to be done, and it was done. It was done legally. In case of Kangana Ranaut, you see, the legal actions were taken by the BMC, and it was not us. It was the BMC who demolished the illegal portions of her house. Second thing is with regard to the Navy retired Navy officer. He next day pronounced himself to be a part of BJP RSS, and it's on record. We are not saying anything beyond the record. And the NCP which took action against the lady, it was completely wrong because she had to spend 40 days in prison.
Jail, yeah.
And it was completely wrong. We accept we did something wrong, but we also did something right. So we don't want to wreck the past. Now the thing is that the new government is losing the patience. They don't want to hear anything against this government. And this is very clear when the situation of law and order arises with regard to Nagpur. They don't want to respond. They don't want to take severe actions against the persons. So these things come into question. These issues are important than raking the issue with regard to Kunal Kamra, who is having a viewership less than 1 lakh, and now it has crossed crores of viewers
But they
in
have
regard
taken
to the
action in
news.
Nagpur against Fahim Khan. They've arrested him. In fact, even the bulldozer
See,
action that was taken yesterday,
see,
the Supreme Court
The
has laid
Nagpur,
down guidelines for it. You
no,
may disagree with
Nagpur,
that, but you can't say no action has been taken.
no, the Nagpur clash involves a much wider spectrum because the build-up was not done in a day. It was done for 3, 4 days or past 1 week.
Okay.
And this was a larger conspiracy which they have not investigated till now.
Okay, so
Many
China,
persons might
respond to
be.
that. There are much bigger problems in the state. You're not able to provide that 2,100 rupees to women. You are not, in Nagpur, a city like Nagpur, which has never seen communal riots, you had riots for the first time. These are the issues, the grave issues that the state should be dealing with instead of going after a comedian.
The government of the day is doing its job. When you talk about Nagpur, whether it was Fahim Khan, who was part of another big conspiracy to destabilize the most peaceful state of Maharashtra, and a city like Nagpur, which has always kept our Sanskriti and Sabhita, at the helm, it's not like the government of the day did not contain the situation or did not act. So please, let's not mix apples and oranges. I can also say that Kunal Kamra is part of a larger conspiracy to deflect from an investigation which is going on, and that could be also something which has been planted, but I don't want to get into that. Here, what are we debating, Zaka? We are debating two things. One is freedom of expression, which is the fundamental right of all. But surely vulgarity is not. Humor and humiliation. There is a fine line, but there is a definite line where you cannot humiliate my leader and expect for there not to be a reaction. Right, wrong, or otherwise, in a
Okay.
democracy where you have mass leaders who have emerged from the ground, there is a public support and public base too. You talk about Kunal Kamra and his followers may be virtual, ours are real. If we are a political
But
party and
China,
if
tell
there
me
is,
the word that he used, which Shiv Sena Shinde faction has taken so much exception to. Mr. Uddhav Thackeray uses the same word every day. Are you going to send your people to Matoshri also?
firstly, who is a Gaddar? Let's get that straight. Is a Gaddar somebody who has absolutely thrown the philosophy of Adanya Hindu Hriday Samrat Balasaheb Thackeray into the dustbin and for lust for power is sitting in the lap of the most pseudo-secular vote bank for vote bank politics with the most corrupt alliance? So we are not sitting on judgment here, or I am not pronouncing. But what is the job of a comedian? Is that job of a comedian
Okay.
to humor people, or under the guise of being a comedian, be an actual political
Mr.
activist
Jha,
that has an
the point
agenda?
is, again, there is a stark double standard. I was just referring to this earlier on in the program. Today in Chennai, a YouTuber, much like Mr. Kamra, less a comic but more a YouTuber, his house was attacked because he says things that are not popular of the current government there. But nobody was saying, what about his freedom of expression? Why are people vandalizing his house? Nobody came to his defense. So it can't be that when comics that you like are attacked, oh, that's a freedom of expression issue. But critics who you don't like are attacked, that is not a freedom of expression issue.
See, as far as the Constitution is concerned, everybody has got a freedom of speech. Even you are sitting in your newsroom and telling everybody how to, what are the news and what are the aspects of the news criticism. All these are aspects of freedom of speech. And you cannot curb a freedom of speech, but you can naturally restrain some parts of it. But if you see in this scenario, what is happening is that peculiar scenario is making the news because in 90s, if you see Jaspal Bhatti was there. In 90s, we see Shekhar Suman was there. They used to do criticism in a comical way. But eventually the politics now and then the politicians are day by day losing the patience and they are reacting to such kind of news or criticism. This is
Okay.
very, very, I should say that faulty politics is being going on, and we should not do it. But we should always allow certain criticism because if there is no criticism, the government will not work.
All
And
right.
eventually, Public who is doing the criticism should also be adhered to.
Zaka,
We'll leave it at that. I'm
Zaka, can I-
running out of time, Shaina. I just want to
Just
say
30 seconds.
what the Prime Minister said in his podcast with Lex Friedman, that he welcomes criticism. He's open to criticism, but it can't just be mere allegations. Criticism has to be well researched and well defined. But we'll see how the story plays out. I just want to refer for a moment to what happened to that YouTuber in Chennai. He's a man by name Savukku, very popular in the Tamil YouTube circuit. His house, he claims, was ransacked by a group of men who were dressed like sanitary workers. The group threatened his mother, his aged mother, who was at home at that time. They dumped waste on the floor, saying that Savukku had made some remarks about sanitary workers in one of his videos, which had apparently hurt them. The mother went to the police station. She filed a complaint, but Mr. Shankar is alleging that the police are refusing to file an FIR basis his mother's complaint. He has also clarified that the video that he put up on his YouTube channel was about corruption, allegedly, in the purchase of new garbage collection vehicles and not against the sanitary workers. Like I said, he is alleging that the police are going slow on this investigation. Only a sub-inspector and a constable arrived at the scene despite the complaint, he alleges. The attackers staged a protest for hours without leaving the premises, and then finally, after a number of hours, they finally left.
I strongly believe that it was Mr. Selvaparandage, Tamil Nadu Congress Committee chief, that targeted me, because the scam I exposed directly indicted Mr. Selvaparandage, and I spoke in my story that Mr. Selvaparandage conceived and executed this scam. So naturally, he is the person who is most aggrieved due to the exposure of that scam, and he is in a position to organize the sanitary workers. And they are not sanitary workers; they are goons organized by Mr. Selvaparandage. And Mr. Selvaparandage has in his control numerous goons like the people who came yesterday.
And so far, no FIR has been registered?
Madam, as of this moment, more than 24 hours have passed after this incident. The entire incident was videographed, went on Facebook Live. The immediate action the police could have done is registered an FIR and hand over a copy to the complainant. So far, the police have not registered an FIR. This itself shows their intent and the next course of action they are going to take. And I don't have any faith in the police, because the entire attack happened with the knowledge and collusion of the police is what I believe.
He always spoke about me. Anybody will give money, he will speak. Okay, I don't bother. Okay, we will face that legally.